Dance music.
Hello, everybody. Got to put a little bit of 80s retro synthwave in there. So it's Big Cab, Mel,
Hello.
the girl on the couch.
Hey,
She call you that now on there, the girl on the couch.
Girl on the couch.
the girl on the couch.
Right, yeah. But we come back with a Nerd Show 4 for all you hefty, lovey-dovey nerds out there. Um, I don't know if anybody's got the chance to see the Flash trailer, but it came out on the Super Bowl, and the biggest surprise of it all, and a lot of people didn't notice somehow, for some reason, people didn't notice, but Michael Keaton
Yes.
is back. The
I
cast,
think that's good that he's back as Batman.
um, so apparently, not only is Marvel doing the multiverse, but so is DC now, and it's kind of like apparently the Flash is supposed to be going in through different times. Like you're going to see Ben Affleck's Batman here, then he goes in to a time to where his mom is alive, and that's the timeline that Michael Keaton's in. And but the problem is he ends up doing something pretty bad and brings in General Zod, if y'all remember him from Man of Steel, and we get to see the first ever Supergirl in
Awesome.
this movie. And apparently there's a rumor going around that we might see 4 different Batmans, not just Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck, but another Batman, and then the Batman is going to be playing Batman heading forward in the new DCU. So I don't know how they're going to fit so many Batmans into one thing.
It'll be awesome to see.
Now I know that you're on TikTok. We're all on TikTok. TikTok is kind of a sometimes if you're having trouble with sleep, some of y'all probably decide to get up and go, "Hey, I'm gonna watch some TikTok videos before I go to sleep."
Jump
We're all-
down some rabbit holes.
There's a lot of rabbit holes on TikTok, but apparently here recently there's been a surge of women, and I'm glad because I got you two on here. There's been a surge of women who are getting them. Now, we all been going through, when you see the live thing, you see those women on air with their little, half of their chesticles hanging out, and they're like talking to men on there. But now you got the ones who are going into gyms dressing scantily clad to record men creeping on them. And I wanted to know what y'all guys think of that, because I know you used to go to the gym. I know Mel goes to the gym. I'm just kind of curious of what you guys think about that, as far as women doing that, and as far as like how that feel for the men exactly.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right. So I think if they're doing it intentionally, it could potentially be staged. I know whenever I went to the gym, or maybe I just didn't pay attention or whatever, but I never noticed anybody creeping on me personally, but it was never really busy when I went either. I'd always sneak in when there weren't that many people there. Um, but that's something that I haven't experienced myself, but um I guess I could kind of see. I mean, but on the flip side of that, girls should be able to wear whatever they want within the bound of reason if you're going to go use the gym, you know. But depending on how creepy, if it looks staged or not, I haven't seen that particular video, but I have seen other videos that are similar. And I'm just like, is that real? Like, what do you think, Mel?
Well, whenever me and him have gone to the gym, I never really paid attention to anything that's going on with anybody. I just kind of have my own, I guess, what is it? Not necessarily a routine, but I have my own thing going on. And, I've never dressed provocatively at a gym, only because I just don't I like to dress down. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I wouldn't do it for the reasons that some of these women probably do it for.
Right.
And I think that, there's two different effects of it. They're either doing it because they want to see how they look on camera. Maybe they're trying to, I don't know, do like one of those timelines where it seems like from like start to finish of like, how they look from the time that they start to the end of it and everything. Like they're doing like, what do they call it? That, what you used to do, like where you would, see what you look like here versus then.
Oh,
like
progression.
the progression stages.
Right.
Like that. Or maybe they're simply doing it for attention or they're just trying to catch somebody in the act looking at them. And I look at that, like if they are doing that, in my personal opinion, I think it's kind of staged.
Yeah.
With you, because it's becoming a fad. Anything that's like streamlining on TikTok, 9 times out of 10, if so many people are doing it, it's for shits and giggles and to get a reaction,
Right.
I mean, like, he'll even find something where, somebody will be, whatchamacallit, like they'll be doing reactions of men looking at women, and then they'll have somebody else reacting to that. And I'm like, this is too much for me to like, keep up with, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So like the other day when we were at the gym or whatnot, he saw these, I guess a small group of girls or whatever with, working out, and, one of them had their phones, and it automatically made him like look down because he didn't want to be seen and so forth. And I'm like, we've been going to the gym off and on for the last 6-7 years, and not once have I ever heard of this before.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
Like, I don't really care. I mean, if people, I never notice these things. He does. I guess he somehow or another finds it and starts, wanting to talk about it. Then he starts.
It's the rabbit hole.
It's the rabbit hole that you.
It is.
I mean, the internet's can be a dark place.
It really can. It really can be. Like, it's just so wild. Like, all this stuff is just like at the tip of, like, right in our pockets all the time. Like, all the things. It's so wild.
And I'm just like, because he asked me, he's like, what? Because I've noticed that he's been looking at a lot of videos of these lately. And I'm like, why are you watching these and giving them views?
Right.
You don't really know why they're posting them in the first place. I personally think it's just for views. They're just trying to get a reaction. But that's just my opinion. I don't really know, because I don't notice these things.
Well, here's the difference between a glance and a creeper at a gym.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen both before.
Right.
A creeper is one who will come over and stare there at you while you're working out and doesn't say anything and continues to follow you. That right there is a creeper.
Right.
Who's over there glancing to see if you need any help. And that's what some of these women don't understand. A guy could be glancing over there to see if maybe you're doing your form wrong, and maybe they might want to see if you need help. That could be another reason why. And I'm one of those kind of people.
The thing about it is you can definitely tell when women are there looking for fucking attention. I'm sorry. Because, I mean, if you're wearing a fucking pair of, a bra and panties, clearly you're looking for, attention.
Right. And if you have like a full face of makeup on before you go to the gym, like,
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, if some people do that, and I just look at it like that's just so wrong,
Yep, trying to bait people into stuff. I agree. And as far, all the times, as far as like what my gym attire, definite dress down, because it gets hot, and I don't want to, like, why, that's when you just roll out of bed and go. Just like roll out, go, then get your coffee, and then go from there. But yeah, it sounds to me like some fishing's going on, trying to bait people just to get views. I don't know of anybody. I know a friend of mine, she used to go to the gym, but she was the one creeping on the dudes. And I'm just like, she always kept wanting me to go with her. I'm like, no. No.
And that's another thing too. It's always when these videos get popped up, it's always about a woman being creeped on. But what people don't understand is there is a bunch of us men who get creeped on by women too. And it's not
But
just
that's the thing. You don't really see that going on as much as you see the opposite sex doing it. I don't know why, but I think that, but then again, it's how the world is now. I mean, that's how the world's been. I mean, women are stereotyped for their looks and their sex appeal and blah, 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 blah. And men are, can be the same exact way.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why do there always have to be fads that people have to, like, why do there always have to be trends that people have to follow in order to, come up with some, it's like a popularity contest.
I have an answer for that. This country is a trendy country. Whatever,
actually, it's not just the country; it's the whole fucking world.
Right.
Right.
All over the world do this shit.
And it's a very trendy thing. It's almost like whenever they brought back the neon colors, I was like, some people who are, I'm not trying to be mean here, but if you're a bigger person, you shouldn't be wearing neon pink or green. I'm just throwing that out there. It's not a mean thing. It can be a little mean thing, but
do what?
I said bigger people shouldn't be wearing neon colors. There's reasons for that.
Well, I haven't seen that in a while. I have not seen that.
They've been bringing back bell bottoms. They brought back the whole.
I love my bell bottoms.
I want an authentic pair of like 1970s bell bottoms. I really do. I would like.
Yes.
I have a nice pair, but they're not like, they're just generic Walmart brand stuff and everything. So they're not like the usual. But I'm serious.
No, PK just said, "Hey, I look good in neon green."
I mean, I like hippie stuff. I like hippie.
Yeah. For sure.
I'll just say this though about the gym situation. I haven't really seen too much of that. When I went to Gold's Gym, I saw it a little bit more because there was a woman there, and I can honestly say she was dressing scantily clad, but she was not looking at anybody. She just came in there.
What is considered scandalously clad?
Okay, she had a sports bra and booty shorts. But she wasn't looking at anybody. She came in there and she was working hard. She was one of those bodybuilders.
Sports bra and booty shorts.
She was one of those bodybuilder girls. Is all she was.
Well, I'm trying to picture which one you're talking about because I mean, what color?
It was a. You remember going to Gold's Gym with me?
Oh, Gold's Gym. Oh
yeah,
God,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
God, no.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, with this
that
one,
long ago.
Well, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this girl
Got
was
it.
able to dress the way she wanted to, working out and pretty much ignoring any man that she saw. It's not really about the clothing part. It's about the fact that when you have that fucking cell phone, and it's one thing if you're going into the bathroom and you're looking at the mirror and you're seeing what kind of progression you've done. It's another to have your phone out and purposely trying to catch men staring at you.
Right. Yeah, that's not okay.
Actually, there are probably men that do it too, but it's just not noticed. It's not really noticed as much.
Poston wears his Dallas Cowboy gear when he works out.
Okay, good for you, good dude.
No, but I think a lot of it, I don't know if you ladies agree with this, but I think a lot of it has to do with this whole Me Too movement.
It could very well be. It could very well be because there's definitely a lot that's come out with the Me Too movement, a lot. So maybe you could be spot on with that, that maybe that's why they're trying to catch people doing stuff and, whereas they're more likely, if it's, like the big, like everything going on right now with, with the Me Too thing. I mean, these girls all knew the perp, they knew who the guy was and they knew,
It's interesting. When I saw one of those TikTok videos, the girl, any person that saw any person that commented against her, and commented against what she was doing, she basically took their comments off.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that, in my opinion, means that they are literally fishing. They're just getting views. They don't want anybody to speak on behalf of that at all. They don't want anyone's opinion. They just want views.
Right.
I mean, you can read people like, I mean, you can read quickly if people are out for, views, or if they actually want someone's bias or unbiased opinion or whatever the case may be related to the subject at hand versus, ones that are just, I just want the view. I just want the view and that's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
If they shut off the comments, that means either A, they had comments before and took them all away and they weren't comments in their favor, or they didn't want comments period at all. So,
well, now this person, she kept the comments, but she only kept the ones that agreed with her.
exactly. So if you have a one track mind like that, yeah, you're just there for views.
Yeah.
And one of them has finally came out and apologized to this guy because apparently this guy that she said creeped at her at the gym got kicked out of the gym and got fired from his job.
Oh no!
And now she feels guilty and she's apologizing.
Well, she should feel guilty.
She should.
Nobody should ever have to lose their job.
No.
Something like that. I mean, that just means that you were literally going above and beyond to ruin someone's life.
Right.
God.
Exactly.
That's why I hate people.
I know, right? There needs to be a spray for that shit.
Exactly.
People
Exactly. Rip it. I look at it like, well, let's just neuter them all.
Right.
But speaking on this, I was going to bring up this topic for you guys. Do you guys think that the apps like Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, and all of them, do you think those are the ones that are kind of ruining the movie theaters now?
Yes and no. I think a lot that has to do with movie theaters being on the decline is just everything is so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it costs like an arm and a leg just to sustain. And I mean, I can't recall a time ever going to the movie with Raiden and not getting out of there spending less than $50.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, movie theaters make their money based off of the concessions, and that's all there is to it. So I mean, as long as you're spending money there, they're still able to make money. But I mean, people will still go to the movies if they can. But the thing about it is that apps are cheaper and some apps are free. Like you can watch stuff from years and years and years ago, or you can watch a brand new movie, just wait for it to come out on an app or whatnot. Spend $5 on it for the whole month, and you can watch it as many times as you want to. For free, for $5.
Oh, we talked a little bit about this last night.
Yeah.
And, I like those movies where there's really good experiences in the theater because there's some movies you get that good experience.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Inside a movie theater. But what makes the experience bad is when people are on their phones talking.
Or when they're yelling, or the kids are there, or they won't shut up, or they're, there's so many different dynamics when it comes to, there's the pros and cons to the movie world.
Oh, yeah. I remember years ago, it was a few years back, I took Raiden to see Annabelle, the original Annabelle. And I know there was you always have that group up in the top right-hand corner that never shuts up.
Or the ones that are sitting right next to you in the theater that just won't shut the fuck up. It's like,
yeah,
I don't care.
No. And it was the funniest thing because when they showed Annabelle for the first time, you could hear the entire upper right-hand corner go, ugh! And it was just the funniest shit ever. I thought it's like, right.
Well, this happened to me, but this was like Halloween Resurrection. And I was at the theater and there were these black women that were sitting in the row before us. And this guy, someone in the theater decided to dress like Michael, came over there. Those women spilled out popcorn, Coke everywhere. Was loud. They didn't want to come back inside the damn theater.
Right.
And I mean, I forgot what movie we saw, but we went to the AMC. We went to one AMC theater a couple years ago, and there was a movie we were trying to see, and someone had their fucking light on their phone.
Why?
I don't know, but it was blinding the shit out of both of us, and we're both here. Here we are trying to concentrate.
Again, another reason to stay home.
Right.
Save money. Live better.
Right. The hell?
I mean, now AMC Theaters has got a new pay thing now. Now what theirs is that if you sit up top,
you pay more. The closer you are to the screen, the cheaper you have to. the cheaper it is. I look at it like seriously. So in other words,
Really?
yeah,
When did they change that?
about not even a month, several weeks ago.
Several weeks ago.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep. So in other words, if you go to an AMC theater anywhere,
Yep.
you will you have to pay per like section, like each section
Oh.
pricing. So like, if
Okay.
the front is cheapest. If you sit in the back, it's more expensive. I mean, I haven't seen the prices of them yet, but I look at it like that is absolutely stupid. They're going to lose money on that way.
Oh yeah,
Like, I'm not
for
gonna
sure.
extra money if I want to sit in the very back because I don't want the screen directly in my face.
Right. Right.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, they're definitely going to lose out, especially because, like, in the back, you have limited seating back there.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes no sense. So between the seat prices and the people, the $5 a month app sounds pretty good, I guess. You know, so I
Right.
guess, you know, that's why there's such, you know, that would make sense why it's declining between it just costs so much money. And I'm the type, yeah, I'm that girl that brings snacks. We will stop at whatever gas station or Dollar General or wherever, and I will get snacks. I always buy popcorn though, because you got to buy popcorn. You know, it's kind of a given.
Fucking lutely. And he gets like, he makes fun of me because every time we go to the movies together, whatever, I always get popcorn. I'm like, I can't go to a movie. I really can't watch a movie if I don't have popcorn. It's like
Right.
every time. But he makes fun of me for it because he's a meanie. He's like, why do you always have to have popcorn? I'm like, because that's what I like.
Especially at the theater, get the big bucket, get their big refillable bucket, and get all the butter and
I get to I put as much fat on it as I possibly can.
yes,
So I just tell them load it down with the fat. Okay, please do it.
yep.
But during Mel's birthday last year, I got her this big giant, like I got her this big giant skull bag, so now she can.
Oh my god, yes!
Now
I
she
can
can
fit
fit
an
whatever she
entire
wants.
meal inside this thing.
Nice.
Yes, an entire meal.
So you're one of those people that brings your own food?
Just snacks. Just like, because I have a hard time spending like $5 on a candy bar. I can't do it. I can't. So I'll get like, you know, little mini snacks, you know, just like, you know, if Raiden wants like to grab like a candy bar or, you know, some little, you know, whatever snacky snacks we can get, I'll do that. I do that. Yeah, I bring in snacks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring in like a whole big bucket of KFC or anything like that, but I mean,
I mean, I could probably fit one in my purse. Honestly, that's how big it is.
there you go. Just bring the whole big bucket of chicken in.
Yeah.
Nobody will know.
Nobody will know until I open up, unzip the bag, and then the fumes start emanating throughout.
Oh,
the
what did
theater.
it come? What got funny if you did that? Someone's like, "Yo, man, you smell chicken."
And that's when I close it and be like,
No.
No,
No.
I don't smell chicken. There's no
Dylan.
chicken here. No chicken. I have no chicken in my purse. No.
Do you guys have a Regal up there by any chance? Regal's
No, we don't. Mm-mm.
that sucks. Because every Tuesday here, there's a couple of Regal Cinemas where we are. Every Tuesday they have half off of everything, half off movies and half off of concessions, and it's fucking amazing. I just figured this out recently, and I'm like, son of a bitch, they've been doing it for a while, and we never took advantage of it throughout.
Aw.
I know.
Oh man.
Right?
And that's how we got to see Megan.
Yeah, half off everything. I got concessions, and I literally only spent not even $20 for the tickets and the concessions all together.
Nice. Now that's how it should be all the time.
Right.
Always.
Exactly.
So, dude. Now, you know, actually, Mr. Great Dude Bothers saying, "Hey, Kev, hey." No, actually, the biggest thing I have with the biggest thing with movie theaters, though, and Dan Cook was right about this. When it's a jam-packed movie theater, you have to go to the bathroom. I've always get paranoid walking past people like they're going to shove a dildo up your ass or something. I don't know.
Right.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I like the Regal, because it has these reclining chairs.
Reclining chairs.
Reclining chairs.
Ooh,
And they're
fancy.
between each row. Basically, there's like a wall up in between each row. So there's about maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 5 feet in the front of you. So if you walk around somewhere, you're not banging into anybody.
And you know,
Nice.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about a dick at the booty.
Right? That's the last thing I want to worry about when I'm at the movies.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to have to worry about that. I always get scared I'm going to fall on somebody. Like, because I could be super clumsy, and when it's such like a tight space and you're trying to like kind of like teeter-totter your way to the aisle and get out, I'm like, man, I'm scared I'm going to fall in somebody's lap, and that would be the worst. I'd be so embarrassed, and I'm sure they'd be embarrassed too. Like, I'm just that's like one of my things. Like, oh my god, what if I hit them, or what if I fall on them, or what if they like stick their foot out and I like face plant in the middle of the aisle or something.
When you guys go to the movie theater, do you guys? And we watched this when we watched the Avengers Endgame. Do you guys like when they cheer and clap for something, or they get excited for?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's fun. That's fun when that happens. You know, everybody gets, everybody's like involved, So that's the fun part.
Well, this is something that I don't do whenever I want to watch a movie. Whenever I want to see something, whether it's on TV or if it's in the theaters or whatever, I do not go on any kind of social media and read anything about anything.
No.
Because a couple years, well, when Endgame came out, right before it came out, people on social media suck. Okay. They will troll the shit out of random like, news stations or news places like, on Facebook or whatever the case may be, and posting random things, and they will literally spoil big ass movies for you before they even come out. So I don't like when it came down to like The Walking Dead that we got into for a while. When it came to the grand finale of the actual show itself, I stayed the fuck away from social media.
Yeah, we did.
Until
we did.
we finally watched the last show together. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm not watching anything Walking Dead related. I'm not reading anything Walking Dead related until after it's all done.
Right.
I literally stayed away because that's, I just don't trust people anymore. Not that I really did anyway, but that's beside the point. So.
I mean, so pretty much what happened was this guy.
Oh, and I also don't listen to TV critics either.
Oh no.
I think that's the funny thing about movie critics. I mean, like, they get paid to critique a movie, but yeah, isn't it always the movie that you really like, and they're like, this movie is horrible.
Well, let's just put it this way: back in the day, this was probably around 2004. I'm gonna go with 2004 with this one. I think it was the movie Shakespeare in Love. It was whenever the movie Shakespeare in Love came out with Gwyneth Paltrow. Siskel and Ebert at the time were big ass movie critics, and they went on to it. They went on to like one of like the main like news stations, like Good Morning America or something like that, and literally gave away one of them. I don't remember who it was. Gave away the ending to the movie.
Oh.
At that point, I just stopped. Believing critics and all that kind of, because I realized they were just in it for, themselves. So
right. They're in it to make a buck. And I wonder, like, some of these critics that publish for like big media, I wonder if they're like paid by some of these promote, like, say for instance, if it's a movie, a certain movie that's, they want more views of or whatever. I wonder if they're paid to like say something nice, even though it's like a really awful movie.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's why, when it comes to reviews of anything, I don't pay attention to any of that.
Right.
Have you ever
you never know. I'm sorry.
Have you ever noticed that if it's a Hollywood elite, like, and this is not a pun against Meryl Streep or Tom Hanks because they are good actors. But you never really see a bad review about either one of them.
No, you don't.
Because Hollywood's biased with them, that's why.
Right. So I mean, like, everybody that's out there liking, like, let's say everybody's liking The Flash, and then a Tom Hanks movie comes out, the critics are going to say how great the Tom Hanks movie is and how bad the Flash movie is.
Right. Which is insane to me. I mean, granted, yeah, Tom Hanks is a great actor and he's been around for a really long time, but that shouldn't take the spotlight away. It's just like definitely an elite for sure. Did you guys see where they are remaking Death Becomes Her?
Yes,
Yes.
I did. I actually really loved that movie.
Yes.
I really
Yes.
love that movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not really a big Meryl Streep fan as much as I used to be just because of shit that she's done. But anyhow, I love that movie.
Yep. It's great. I saw that they're redoing it. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch it. I
Right?
gotta see it. I gotta see it.
They're
Because
actually
it was one of the first movies that actually used like some of the digital stuff, you know, with all the whole, you know, with just all the stretching and body just, you know, morphing and everything. So yeah, I can't wait to see the sequel or the remake rather.
they're actually talking about remaking Young Frankenstein.
Why? No.
Why?
Why? Why can't they just leave shit alone? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Damn it.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
But I have to give the guy credit who directed the Back to the Future trilogy. He's pretty much said as long as he's alive, there will not be no remake of that movie. Period.
But when he dies, that's when it'll happen. Because
Yeah,
they've got
probably.
nothing else better to do.
What gets me is they're redoing, oh, what was it? The Crow, okay?
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite movies of all time. And the book is different from the movie, or the comic's different from the movie, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about them remaking The Crow. I think they should leave that one alone. Even though Bill Skarsgård is amazing, but
You're not Brandon Lee.
you're not Brandon Lee. No, you are not Brandon Lee. And that movie is just, mwah. You know, it's one of my favorite love stories ever. The Crow. Like when people, it's so funny because, you know, I've been in conversations before. Oh, what's your favorite romance movie or your love story? The Crow. It's the ultimate love story. And it's the ultimate revenge story.
It is actually.
It really is. So, but yeah, I'm like, you know, they really shouldn't remake. I mean, you know, nothing on Bill Skarsgård because he's an amazing actor. Like any Skarsgård for the most part, they're all, you know, the whole family, you know. But I just don't think they should leave The Crow alone. Just don't even. He's not Brandon Lee. It's not going to be as gritty as the original. It's not going to be. It's just not. So I probably won't watch it just because I'm partial. I mean, typically I'd be a little bit more open-minded, but I'm like, man, these remakes, they got to stop. I mean, there was one recently that was remade. Oh, I can't think of it.
You know, I grew up doing as a kid, as a teenager, I grew up and being in those Mortal Kombat tournaments with my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And we loved, I mean, not many people do, but I loved the 95 movie of Mortal Kombat. But then when I decided to go see the remake of it, I think last year or the year before, I wasn't impressed with it.
Right.
And it was kind of like, man, you made it more darker and more greedier. And this one was just the right amount of, I don't know. I look at movies in the 90s and their stories were better.
They were.
The action was better. Everything was better. Because I mean, like, you know, when you see a movie like Speed, you know, if it was now, they would have the bus go through building. They would have a bus jump over this and this and this and this. And I'm like, sometimes less is more in a movie.
Right. For sure.
And that's why we got another Fast and the Furious coming out.
I'm telling you, they're all gonna be like, you know, in their 90s when they finally finish the damn, you know.
Finish that series.
I mean, seriously.
You'll see them all scooting around in their little mobilized scooters.
And then they have like nods, and all of a sudden he'd be like, "It's all about the family."
God. No, it'd be more like, it's all about the family.
It's all about the family.
And then when he wins the race, he has a heart attack and dies. Dom saved the world, but he couldn't save the heart.
God.
I mean, like movies
So
is
terrible.
Let me ask you guys: did y'all guys like the Leonardo DiCaprio Romeo and Juliet?
It was okay.
I only saw it once, so I really can't give my honest opinion about it because I've only ever seen it one time, and that's it.
I was expecting it to be, when I watched it, now mind you, it's been I've slept a little bit since I watched it, but I was expecting it to be in modern day. But it was kind of set in modern day, but they were using all the old English.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I didn't like, maybe if they, I mean, they did good. I mean, they tried.
now I have to ask you this because I know Mel's answer to this, but what's the one movie that is so boring to you that if it comes on, you can easily go to sleep?
Oh God. Oh, so many.
Oh boy. Here we go. You can name a few if you want.
Well, one of them I fell asleep. I was just tired. It wasn't a boring movie. It was pretty good. It was more chick flicky than what I wanted, but it was kind of, somebody took me to watch it, so I wasn't going to say, I'm like, all right, I'll just go check it out. A Star is Born. I fell asleep in the theater about halfway through. And I don't know why. I must have just been tired. And what's another one? Yeah, I think it was something with Adam Sandler. It was a Halloween movie with Adam Sandler.
Oh, Hoobie.
Hoobie.
Yeah.
Was that? It was a Netflix movie. I can't remember the name of it.
It's called Hoobie Halloween.
Hoobie Halloween.
Yeah, that's it. I fell asleep during that because I'm like, no. If it would have been Adam Sandler like 25 years ago doing it, I probably wouldn't have I wouldn't have been bored. But and another one that was Raiden's favorite when he was younger, I would take a little mini nap when it come on. It was Mall Cop. Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
Oh.
I've seen it so many times though, because we used to watch it a lot, and I got to a point I'm like, okay, I know what's gonna happen. So let me take a nap.
My bubble gum, but my bubble gum. But yeah, actually, the one thing that Mel hates the most is Battlefield Earth.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't hate the movie. It was just probably one of the most poorly written, most boring movies ever made, in my opinion.
Right.
Because everything about it was just stupid. That and Doom. Doom was pretty bad too.
Doom was pretty bad.
Did you see Doom?
Yes. I even remember watching the Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter. That can't get any worse than that. I mean, and believe me, I love the Street Fighter games, but this was Jean-Claude Van Damme is a bleach blonde guy. He just did not do it for me.
No.
It was just like this is.
Well, I'm glad bleach blonde guys didn't do it for you.
Now, as much as I grew up being a Stallone fan, I didn't even like his movie. He did a movie called Oscar.
Okay.
There's just certain movies I was just kind of like, yeah. But there are those movies that you've seen so many times that you love that you can't fall asleep to because you're like, yeah, I've seen this. This is one of my favorites, but I'm still gonna go to sleep.
Right.
And you're not going to sleep because of the movie being boring. You're going to sleep because I've seen this so many times.
Yeah, it's like I've yeah. No, one of my favorite that I can't because it's one of those like you have to watch it from beginning to end. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's called The Endless.
No.
It's really good. It's kind of an indie flick. It's kind of an indie psychological horror, and it's basically these two kids escape a cult, like a death cult, and things kind of come full circle, and that's all I'll say. But it's one of those you really have to like watch and pay attention, and every time you watch it, you see something different.
Huh.
Yeah, like you catch something else, like oh yeah, but it's really good.
Now, I know we were talking about bringing up this subject, but I know that you were a big X-Files fan.
Yes, I was.
I was a big Unsolved Mysteries fan.
Yes.
Literally, like Unsolved Mysteries and X-Files kind of went hand in hand with each other. Like one would come on after the other every single day.
Right.
Now, you told me, Becky, that you were scared of Unsolved Mysteries.
I was a little kid. It was late 80s. And I remember there was the episode about the UFOs snatching somebody out of their room while they were sleeping. And I remember just being just a kid, and I was terrified. I'm like screaming and like, ah, he's gonna get me, like freaking out, like, ah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scared me as a kid, and like the music was so creepy, and
I love the music.
I love it now.
the-
Now I'm like, oh snap, it's just, and like I was saying before, I'm like, man, what scared me as a kid is all the stuff that I like now. Like, I don't get it.
Right?
Yeah, because now if you have like a CD like we do, we have the Unsolved Mystery on our little Halloween CD. Anytime it's on, we just go
Yep.
like just start driving down the car and just start driving down the road with the
Yep.
blast
Like,
Unsolved Mysteries.
This is my jam. This is my jam.
Now, the X-Files, didn't they like cancel a show and then they came back?
Yes, they did cancel it, but they brought it back. I want to say 2015, 2016. And they did 2 seasons, and they were both about a pandemic, actually. Believe it or not, it was about a pandemic.
Huh.
Coincidence.
Yep.
Right.
Here's a coincidence for anybody. There's a movie on Netflix that talks about the Ohio train thing.
Yeah, it's called White Noise.
Before it happened, but before the Ohio train thing happened.
Yep.
Interesting. I will have to check it out. I need to check more stuff like that out, because I documentaries, I like documentaries, especially as fucked up as some of the real fucked up ones. I like those. Like there was this one, it was Red Wild Country or something like that, basically a religious cult. And there's another one I started watching, but I'll probably finish watching it, Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey, about the fundamentalist LDS.
Yeah.
These are the polygamists. These are the ones with all the sister wives.
Yeah, actually, I watched something on Netflix that was about how Mormons actually killed people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Mormon church.
Well, the church. Well, technically speaking, that can be said for a lot of hierarchy religious places, honestly, because the Catholic Church is the same way. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the Vatican that most people don't even know about. I mean, there's underground brotherhoods and,
Oh, yeah.
all that kind of shit. So, I mean, it really happens in any hierarchy of power. So, I don't know.
As you now, you haven't seen the actual Dahmer show yet.
Not yet, no.
We started following. We haven't finished it. We only seen a couple of minutes of it, but we're fixing to get more into the Dahmer tapes.
Okay.
Well, we've only watched 1 episode so far, and we haven't even gotten through it all yet. And I really want to see it badly.
We also like documentaries like that too.
Well, I like stuff that's based off of true stories.
Exactly.
I get. I mean, I'm not going to say I get my rocks off of it, but I am very, very intrigued by serial people who were bad people.
Right. There was one I watched that was just so incredibly fucked up. It was called Abducted in Plain Sight.
Wow.
Did you guys see that one? Basically, this dude kidnapped a girl, but he was like grooming her. And not only was he messing around with the daughter, but he was sleeping with the mom. And he also convinced the dad to blow him. It was the weirdest thing. Like we started watching this. It's called Abducted in Plain Sight. Like, holy shit, these people are fucked up. Like,
it sounded like he was not a narcissistic, but a sociopath.
I think he was a sociopath. The guy wound up, I don't know if he wound up in prison. I forgot, but the girl, she's written, there was a some kind of like movie or like miniseries made of the story too, because it was the girl that it happened to came forward with her story. And basically the guy like manipulated the parents, like all this oogie stuff. Like, oh, that's creepy. Who does that? And why do they do it? That's just creepy.
You'd be surprised the things that people do.
There's
Yeah.
actually,
It's
True.
It's really, really bizarre.
when we're talking about the unsolved mysteries, you know what else made it very creepy was Robert Stack's voice.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the
Yeah,
part that drew me to the show because it was just like I love stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I still love stuff like
Oh,
that.
we've actually watched the new Unsolved Mysteries is on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
Oh, do they have the old ones on Netflix now? Or are they all the newer ones?
It's just all
Some
new
newer
ones
ones.
right now.
Mm.
But as a matter of fact, I have one of the speaking of unsolved mysteries, I have one. Remember how you were saying that the UFO one, scared the shit out of you?
Yeah.
Well, I have the
Ah.
original UFOs on DVD. The whole
Nice.
unsolved mysteries, yeah.
And I would thrive on watching that stuff now, but I was like 8 or 9 and I'm like, ah.
Well, one thing I could do for you is I probably should. I'll message you about something that I can do for you. I can make
Okay.
I can make maybe a copy and send you
Sweet. Awesome.
send you something for it. Okay, so this way you
Sweet.
can actually have a copy of it if you would like.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Yeah,
Now if I know this is
because I make copies of movies and then I sell off the hard copy so I can make profit off it. But I can make a copy of that for our collection, and then I can send you that so you can have a
Cool.
hard copy of it if you'd like it.
Cool. Thank you. That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
they always talk about this.
Consider it an early Christmas birthday anniversary gift.
Yay.
Her birthday is actually the same as my mom's birthday.
Oh, well, even better. So again, an early birthday gift.
Yep. Thank you.
Sure.
We actually I know what Mel's takes on this one, but do you believe that the UFOs have been on this earth quite a bit?
I believe that there's something out there. I believe that they've been here longer than what we know. If you look at all the ancient civilizations and worlds and everything, they had some kind of something to go by. That just didn't get recorded or got lost in translation somewhere. But yeah, I think there's something out there, and there has been for a while. And
I believe UFOs have definitely come from where, I believe that things not of this earth have visited us.
I think so.
Oh, well, that explains our friend Allie.
Well,
that explains a lot of things. Yeah.
I'd like to hear you tell her that one of these. Actually,
She would laugh.
Actually, she would get a kick out of it. Never mind, because she's even said that she's from outer space. So
I used to tell my mom, I'm like, did I hatch? Did I hatch? Because I'm not like anybody else. Did I hatch? I know you're real. And I guess there was before Roswell, and you guys can look it up, near Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Before the UFO crash in Roswell, there was actually a UFO crash outside of Cape Girardeau, between Cape Girardeau and Sikeston, Missouri, which there's about half an hour distance between the two places, which are near where I'm from. And I'm like, well, that just explains everything. If there was a UFO crash down here, that explains why it is the way it is.
right.
That explains everything.
And you know what's funny is right before the pandemic hit in 2020, they were going to do a bunch of people were going to march to Area 51.
I saw that. And I saw a meme. It was David Duchovny and Giorgio Tsoukalos from Ancient Aliens. Like, it was a meme, like, we're ready to storm Area 51. And didn't only maybe 20 people show up for it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then after that, COVID hit like a bat out of hell.
Yep.
Like, literally almost the same day. It was weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, boom.
Weird. Like, what is going on?
Yep. Yeah, I still have tons of questions about COVID, but I somehow managed to catch it twice. I don't want it again.
Yeah, I've been blessed not to get it. He's been blessed not to get it. I don't know. And I've been working in the wonderful world of customer service for all throughout it. So,
Oh.
Yep. Yep.
Well, as Mel tells me, I'm kind of an alien. So that's kind of...
You are an alien. You're denying that you are an alien. I will never say that otherwise. You are a foreigner.
I'll take it.
Well, you're gonna have to anyway.
And now you said that Raiden does like history.
Yes.
Wow, nice.
Yep. I will get his YouTube channel again and send it to you guys to check out.
Cool.
Does he tackle like the Revolutionary War, Civil War, and all that or something?
It's more like from like how World War One started. World War One, World War Two.
Mm.
Yep.
All right.
Jeez. And then there's the Korean War, and there was the whole Vietnam.
I was not very good when it came to those like the history stuff. I was not very good at that thing. That was just, I don't know. Maybe it's just because my school life was very traumatic for me. But
You couldn't pay me $1 million to go back to high school days. That's for sure.
you couldn't pay me $1 million to do any of that. Exactly. Nope.
Have you noticed? Have you noticed though when you look back at your old high school, when you look at some of your old classmates, the ones that used to be the popular ones and stuff like that, and then they're the ones that look like they got the pot bellies and the.
A few of them, yeah. A
Yeah.
few of them that is totally the case. And some of them, not so much, but some of them, yeah, they definitely, like the homecoming queen and is no longer looks like a homecoming queen. And, some of the guys have made bad decisions and turned to a life of, of not,
Mm-hmm.
doing all the naughtiness. And what's weird is I see people from high school, like, on Facebook. I'm like, oh my God, everybody got old, or we're all old now. What happened? Like, what happened?
It's almost like you you can actually make a meme out of that. Like, what happened to us in high school? You can have you can go back and be just get like Oppo with the handbook.
You're right.
It'd basically be like, oh, this is realize we're older because you did like a spell.
Right.
I wasn't a big fan of school.
I wasn't either. I say you couldn't pay me $1 million to go back to those days. Nope.
I haven't even, I never even considered going to any of my reunions either because of that. There were kids that I just, nope.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. Just being in my hometown for too long gives me the heebie-jeebies. So, yeah.
Well, that's why I got out of my hometown.
Yeah. I know I got invited to the 20-year reunion, and then which turned into the 21st year reunion because we teamed up with the class of 99. Now, mind you, I went to a smaller high school, but they teamed up with the class of 99, and we had like kind of a group reunion. And I know I was invited, and and I had several friends. Okay, are you coming down? Are you going? Because if you don't go, I'm not going. I'm like, well, if I'm not there, don't let me stop you from going. Like, no, we're not going unless you go. I'm like, well, I'm not going. So I guess there's like half the class or, a quarter of the class is not going to show up.
Yep.
Oh, let's everybody hang out at Steak and Shake.
Right.
I remember like because I never went to my reunions, but I remember seeing pictures of some of the reunions that, my school, like my class did. And honest to God, all of the people that attended were all the people that I absolutely fucking hated during school. And that's why I was like, you know what? I made a really good decision with this not to go.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not missing anything.
I told her we could have went, and some of the people that made fun of her, I could have made them cry afterwards. But
yeah, but like it wasn't. I don't know. It's not about making them cry. It was just more or less, people do grow up. It was just more or less, I just didn't really want to be around them.
Right.
I went to a very violent high school here.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And you had to watch your back every time because kids had guns at school, and then there was the whole racial thing going on in school, and all this other BS. So when I found out they were doing my high school reunion, I was like, yeah, nah.
I just wonder if they're going to do it because this year is 25 years, I think. Let me math. Yeah, 98, 25. Yeah, 25 years this year. Yee.
Wow.
I know. That's like a whole lifetime.
But
Holy
you know
shit.
what? You know what I told Mel that she can always go to her 25th reunion and come in there wearing this like black dress, so she can come in here, like start like come in there and start like eating like raw meat, and be like, "Hi."
I mean, I could, but
That sounds like something I would want to do with some of these folks that I went to high school with. You know, like, yeah, I want to do that because yeah, and it's weird because like most and you know, and like you were saying, most of the people that showed up were the people that I just didn't like, the people that were mean and the people that were like, and I was even surprised I got invited. I'm like, really? Wow, you guys didn't talk to me then. What the fuck? Like,
And then it's funny too when you meet up with one of your people that made fun of you, they're like, "Oh my god, you look so pretty now." And
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
yeah, you didn't say that shit back then at me, so fuck off.
right? Like what was it then? Oh yeah. I was ugly that I was ugly then. I was the ugly girl then. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I remember that. With my weird hair. I
And I
had half
never
my
understood that. I never understood why there's always got to be people who have to say shit. I'm like, you know what? You're gonna look like a fat fuck when you turn like like 35 years old. So shut up.
Exactly. You're gonna and it's like those people peaked in high school. They've done nothing ever. I mean, they're the ones that start doing like the MLM stuff. Like they're the ones that try to get people to buy, sell stuff underneath them. Like, oh, I remember you, and
Like, well, I don't remember you.
yeah, like
it kind of reminds me of that movie Can't Hardly Wait, because you remember when she leaves that guy, and all of a sudden he goes into high school. He's this big popular jock, and all of a sudden they say he quit college and was working as a car wash guy.
yeah,
9 times out of 10, people who are like that usually don't get very far in life.
right. And most of them, because mind you, my hometown is like now it's just a little over 2,000 people, and the ones that are still there, the same shit,
Yep.
same life, same everything. It's like, oh,
Yep. Exactly.
I'm sure they wouldn't want to meet Raiden, because I'm sure Raiden will say something.
oh yeah, yeah, he would in a second.
So did Raiden like high school, or was he made?
He liked it because he was involved with they do cool stuff in high school now. They didn't do it back then, but he stayed after school. He was part of esports
Mhm.
and a Dungeons and Dragons club. So he did Dungeons and Dragons after school.
Oh, nice.
So
What was that
yeah,
back then? Damn it!
yeah. It's like why couldn't they do cool shit like that with us? Not everybody's a cheerleader. Come on, hey.
Honestly, though, I mean, I did play football back then, but I wasn't like the ordinary jock that you see, because I also did movie. I also did theater, so
Hmm.
um, I only played the sport because I liked it. I didn't really like it. I was like, hey, it's a way to get some aggression out.
Right.
So
It's like yeah.
I wasn't playing it to be like, hey, look at me, I'm the big man on campus. Look at me.
Right.
But then again,
Whereas there's a lot of them that do, and a lot of those guys still act the same way now as they did back then.
and most of those cheerleaders though, like 2 or 3 of my senior year got pregnant.
Hmm.
Well, that was kind of like the thing,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
really is.
That was just the thing to do. You just, went to school, got knocked up, whatever.
Get crowned homecoming queen with a baby bump. Hey, it is what it is.
Right?
The baby bumps, the high school reunions. Now, anybody later on, if you guys see this later on, if you guys want to talk about your high school reunions on the comments, that would be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure everybody probably avoids their high school reunions.
Not everybody does. Some people actually look very forward to things like that. So, me on the other hand, nah,
Nah.
I'm good.
And it's like then all of a sudden when you go, then you get them at their most vulnerable spot. You go to it, start having some wine, start having some alcohol, and then they'll be like, "What was I ever mean to you?" And you'd be like, "I don't know either." What I really like to do is grab this glass and break it over your fucking head,
Yeah.
and then watch you fall.
All right. Like,
Or as Mel would say, slit the throat and watch him bleed.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's just. Now, have you seen the Wednesday show on Netflix?
mm-mm.
That's pretty much Mel in a nutshell right there.
I've seen the 90s version, and I watched the original Addams Family.
You know that Christina Ricci's on this is in this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
It's a good show,
Cool.
and I'm looking forward to the second one. So
And plus, it's directed by Tim Burton.
I
so,
just
you
wish
know.
that TikTok
Oh.
would stop playing some of the songs from the fucking show because it's annoying as hell.
Goo Goo Muck. Enough of the Goo Goo Muck.
Yes, it's just annoying.
No, it wasn't.
Like,
No, it wasn't.
no.
It wasn't the Google Muck.
It was the
What happened was these people kept trying to dance like Wednesday, and they kept playing Lady Gaga's dance.
I'm like,
Oh,
yes, stop.
that song. Yeah.
It's just annoying to me.
It's actually to me, to be honest with you, I think the Google Muck song is actually better.
The Cramps. Good old campy punk music.
If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it that way. I mean, like I introduced Mel to this band when I actually was doing security. They actually called the Mummies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
They actually dress like the Mummies. They actually dress like mummies and play the instruments and sing and
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So that stuff like that is where I'm like, if you guys are going to do the song and you're going to do the dance, pick the right effing song.
Yep.
And now what happened was Gaga starts doing it now, doing the whole dance thing, and I'm like,
Ah. Like, no, just no.
and that's the problem with TikTok because, like, you know,
That's the problem with social media. Period. It's just trends.
Mhm.
Once you get an opportunity to do a video, like 500 people's already done it,
Yep.
and you're like,
Just when you think you're the first, you're never the first.
No.
You're never the first.
it's like mold and mildew, people.
Yep, pretty much. That's why I don't follow trends on anything. Although if I did, I'd probably get more views, but nah, I'm not looking for the attention like that.
No, I just think it's fun making the videos. I don't think I get a lot of views on mine, because I never like go on my profile and look. So I just make them for fun, and then I'll see what's in my feed and comment on it, or if I see some I like to do like blind reacts and duets with certain videos, just because it's fun for me. It's really especially when it's something really ridiculous.
I will say the most fun, the one videos that get me laughing is when someone's about to do something bad and then Jesus pops up behind them. that one gets me. I'm like, oh my God, it's funny.
Yeah, I was going to start doing something similar because I did a couple, have Jesus, where Jesus burst in the door. What would you do if I was in your house? And I was going to I did a couple videos, that had that start off, but I was going to start being naughty, do either have a beer in my hand or something like, oh, hey, Jesus, how's it going?
Yeah, I can actually see Mel doing that, like do a little trend where Jesus comes through the door. Like, oh, what would you do if I come through the door right now? What?
Say what now? What happened?
There's a trend on TikTok where people are doing this thing where someone's literally dressed like Jesus and they come through your door and the part of the video goes, oh, what would you do if I come through your door? And she said something about doing something naughty, like drinking a beer, going, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Jesus? How's it going?
I mean, I'd probably do something even more naughtier, but I don't want to say it on the screen.
Right.
I'd be like, I mean, you want me to really get raunchy about this? Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Right. we got to keep this YouTube friendly.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah, I mean,
have Jesus show up on 420. Like, hey, Jesus, how's it going?
hell yeah!
oh, we already got that in our friend James. He looks like Jesus and smokes weed, so it kind of.
Yep.
Though it's kind of like He's got the long hair. He's got the long, beautiful long hair and the beard. Like
I love the fact that you refer to his hair as beautiful. I think he loves it when you refer to his hair as beautiful too.
you want to know why? It's because he did this. He did this thing on TikTok where he flipped his hair,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "Oh my god,
Yep.
you can't beat that."
Right. The hair flip.
The hair flip. You can't beat the hair flip. I mean, that's just the.
So now I've got a job to do now for Becky. I've got to make some copies.
Yep.
And then later on, once I'm finished with it, I'll get your address and I will send it to you.
Sweet. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I just want to get it out of the house.
Is there
Actually, there's probably several things that we could probably give to people.
what was your favorite 90s sitcom back in the day?
Let's see. Trying to think. I know Married with Children it's more from the 80s, but it ran in through the 90s, through most of the 90s, and I've always loved that show. And it's more, Beavis and Butthead, not really a sitcom, but one of my favorites nonetheless.
Yes.
Especially the music videos. That was the funniest.
And
I know I watched Friends, but I wasn't too big into Friends really. I don't know why. I mean, it's a great show, but
I used to watch. I did watch Fresh Prince, but I did watch Family Matters. I did watch Step by Step.
Oh yeah, the TJIF Friday nights.
And then I watched Boy Meets World, obviously, and let's see, what other ones?
What was the one with Larry and Balky? Oh, what was that? Perfect Strangers.
Yes, I loved that show.
Yes.
Loved that show.
Yes.
I also like Laverne and Shirley. Do you remember Laverne and Shirley?
I do, vaguely, but yes.
And I also loved Archie Bunker.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And there was another one from the 80s. And now it's hard to find, but it was called Soap. And I've seen it on Antenna TV.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy Crystal was in the show, and he played. And this is where Benson came from. The butler, Benson. He came from the show Soap, and it's hilarious. Like late 70s, early 80s. I've seen it, like I said, reruns. Obviously, I would have been too young then, but I've seen the reruns. I'm like, wow, they got away with this on TV.
I remember watching Come On Knock on That Door. Come on, knock on that door.
Three's Company. I remember that one.
Three's Company.
And another one that I watched reruns of when I got older is Dallas.
Yeah, I saw some Dallas episodes.
Yeah.
It wasn't Debbie Does Dallas, was it?
No. It's
No. Debbie, no.
It was always Who Shot JR.
Always Who Shot JR.
Yeah.
I know who shot him.
I know who shot him too.
I better not say in case somebody hasn't watched.
Exactly. Yeah, really.
I mean, I used to watch stuff like the Incredible Hulk show.
I remember what was his name? Bill. Who played the original of Incredible Hulk?
You mean like I don't?
Lou Ferrigno?
I think Lou Ferrigno played the actual Hulk. Yes, but there was a guy that played Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name though.
I can't think of his name either.
Now one show she used to like from the 80s is MacGyver.
Mm-hmm.
MacGyver. Loved MacGyver. I actually have all seasons of MacGyver on DVD.
Nice. Did you ever watch Quantum Leap?
Yes.
I watched some episodes of that, yes.
That was another good one.
Yes.
I didn't like the fact they remade that. I was like, are you serious?
Oh no, they remade that one too.
No, they remade MacGyver and made him a Gruber. I'm like, come the fuck on.
No.
Yeah.
What gets me, I kind of want to watch it just out of my own morbid curiosity, but another one that I really liked from the old school was Night Court.
They actually redid that one too. It's on
yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, why? I mean, I'm sure it might be funny. I don't know, but I'm like, man, I really like that show.
And they got 2 people. They got 2 or 3 people from the original on there.
Yeah, John Larroquette, who was he was the narrator for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yep. He plays Dan Fielding, the prosecuting attorney. who's kind of a man whore, the man whore lawyer.
I did watch. The one thing you can't find on TV now is you can't find the Cosby Show.
No, you can't.
You can't find the Dukes of Hazzard now because of the.
Well, I'm free.
Yeah.
Cosby Show doesn't play anymore because of
Yeah. And the Dukes of Hazzard because of,
Mhm.
yeah. I remember watching the Dukes of Hazzard. I remember my dad bought me a General Lee car, like a toy car.
I had one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I had one. And I would put my Barbies in the General Lee car. So very well rounded.
nice.
When they decided to make the movie of that, I didn't mind Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott, but I did not like Jessica Simpson as Daisy because Daisy was smart back then and not dumb and stupid.
Right.
It was like,
Honestly, the only reason why they made her looking like that, or just made her like that, is because of the fact that it was Jessica Simpson, and that's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing to do with the actual character itself. They just wanted some sex appeal on the fucking movie.
True.
Yep.
well, I mean, like if you ever go back and you watch when she was dating when they had that her and Nick Lachey's shows, she's like, is this tuna by the sea or chicken by the sea? And it's just,
Right.
The end of their relationship.
the look he gave her was what?
Like, are you completely serious right now? Did you just ask me that?
His look, that was literally like that was the icing on the cake for their relationship.
Yeah, that did it for him.
Because he looked at her like, did you really just say that on TV?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I know that Mel's childhood crush was Jonathan Taylor Thomas, but what was yours?
Why is it that you can't just ask me what my crush was? You have to just tell them what my crush was. I mean, come
I can
on.
ask
I
you.
had a few. Joey Lawrence was one of them. Even though I the show Blossom, I hated it, but I watched it because of Joey Lawrence. I don't know why I hated the show. I just didn't like it. Another one was Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains.
I think you might have asked this the
I think
last
it
time you
may,
did.
yeah,
Yeah, because
And Jerry, he's playing this in March in Milwaukee. I'm like, should I go up there and try to hump on his tour bus, or would that just be deranged? Like,
hey,
yeah,
you were young. We all were young.
yeah.
It makes sense. Things that we.
What were some of your crushes besides one person?
Actually, that was the main one. But you just had to say it right up front. I'm like, but I know we mentioned this before. I know we did. So.
I know she liked Jim Carrey too. But,
Well, yeah. I did.
Jared Leto when he was younger, my like mid 90s. Nowadays he's just weird. But back on My So-Called Life, he was pretty adorable. But now he thinks he's Jesus or something, and has a cult or has some kind of fan island or some kind of weird shit going on. It's weird. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or anything, but look it up. It's like dude's like weird. Him and his brother, and it's weird.
Huh.
I know he got angry because his Morbius movie didn't do too well, and I'm just like, look, dude, you're not picked out to be doing comic movies. I'm sorry.
Right.
I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, you didn't do well as Joker.
I expected better for the Joker out of him. They hyped it up so much. I expected better.
Maybe that's the reason why he didn't do so well with it, is because they hyped it up so much. I don't know.
The only time he did well was the Joker is when they did the Zack Snyder cut, and they had him with the long hair, and he actually did Joker well. Then I was like, oh, okay, so he's not all tattooed up. Okay, this is cool. But when they had him tattooed up with the chain and everything, I'm like, what? No. But I think if you're asking the 90s, I actually did like Kimberly the Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I liked Amy Jo Johnson. Kelly Napowski.
Oh yeah.
But
For
and who was the other one that I thought? Oh yeah, I thought Topanga was.
lots of guys like Topanga.
Yeah,
Lots of guys.
I remember there was Carissa Explains It All. Then on Nickelodeon they had Salute Your Shorts, and
Oh, I liked Salute Your Shorts. Camp Anawana.
I used to like Wild Crazy Kids. They had Wild and Crazy Kids. And then they had Legend. What was the game that they had on there? Like Legends of the Temple.
Yep.
They had that on. They had that on Nickelodeon too.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had the arcade game where you look like you're inside the game with them, and I thought
Oh yeah.
they had all this cool stuff, and now they just like, hey, The Bachelor's here for the 30th season. Who gives a shit?
I know, right? That's like, I think they need to get rid of reality TV or pump the brakes on it or something, because they've been doing it for what now? I mean, they were doing it back in the 90s with The Real World, but now it's like everything, there's a reality show for everything, it seems like. And it like please stop. You know, it's dominated the television for over 2 decades now. It's like, all right, we can do something different now than reality TV.
No one cares about Housewives of Orange County.
You'd be surprised at people that are interested in that shit. Just saying.
I know.
That's
I think they ought to do the real housewives of Rockford, Illinois, and we're actually not really housewives. We're just women, and we live in Rockford, and everything sucks.
Oh, jeez.
We're all broke.
You know
Hey.
what? I like the way she thinks.
Hey,
I do.
you gotta keep that, and then tell Wyatt to make a script.
Yes, I will tell Wyatt. Yo,
Yeah,
we're gonna do the real wives or parents of Rockford, because we're all mostly moms. There's not a lot of wives, but we're all a lot of moms.
Yep.
Like the Real Housewives. Let me think of somewhere like, oh, the Real Housewives of like Sykeston, Missouri, or something.
Well, if you want to be the real housewife in Nashville, it's gonna be let me wear my Tay like summer dress sweater, summer dress, and my little cowgirl boots, and all tanned up, and you look like you got like hair extensions, and
Oh, jeez.
I don't find that every person from the South is like that. I think that's a stereotype.
it does, but it's always funny though.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
The Rockford, the women of Rockford.
The women of Rockford. Meanwhile, at this intersection over here,
Yeah, right.
I think
you're gonna hear a lot of this, motherfucker.
I think you can like point to you and be like, and then they can point to you and be like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Right? Are you fucking serious right now?
I know this lady right here. Whenever we got your thing in here in Nashville called homesteaders,
Okay.
and they like to take over both lanes and go the same exact speed, and they go like they go like 5 or 10 miles under the speed limit.
Oh, jeez.
And Mel's over there.
Actually, it's not in both lanes. It's mainly in the left lane, and it drives me up the fucking wall.
And Mel's like, "Will you fucking move?"
I'm just looking at it like, there's if you can't drive it, don't buy it.
Right.
If you're gonna go slow, get in the right lane. I have
Right.
one of my biggest pet peeves, but I try and keep my cool because so many people do it. So
So yeah, that's a cool thing. What is y'all's pet peeves?
Oh boy.
All
come on.
yeah.
actually, I think we may have gone over this
No.
before too. No?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh man.
People. People are my pet peeve.
Yes. People, shady people,
Mean people.
catty office women. That's bad. I can't with that. I no. Just no. Nepotism. You see all these nepo babies in Hollywood, and it just seems to dominate everything. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to see any more of this. Let's see. when you go to a restaurant and they don't like, and you go to use the ketchup, and when you're a server, which I've done, you're supposed, at the end of your shift, at the end of the night, you're supposed to take like the lids off the ketchup bottles and wrap everything up and everything and clean the lids. But when you open the lid and you see like all the crusty stuff, like I can't. That's a peeve of mine. Like I can't. Like don't like it's messy ketchup. Like don't serve messy ketchup. Like stop.
I hear you on that. That is actually pretty gross.
A few of my biggest pet peeves is if you shady people's one.
Oh yeah, shady people for sure.
People who complain every single day about their life, and I'm just like, look, if you don't like your life so much, fix the motherfucker. Stop complaining. That's
People would rather bitch about their life than do anything about it.
One of my biggest pet peeves, and this happens at our job. There's these two middle-aged ladies who don't like each other, but yet they gossip about each other.
Oh geez.
And I don't like work at gossip. I don't like work gossip, and I'm like,
No.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
No, that falls under the catty umbrella too, because that's catty and petty, like workplace drama.
If you break your word to me, I don't like people that, if I'm one of those people who honors the code. If you don't honor the code, then
Right.
I got nothing for you. And also another thing I don't like too is people in the gym re-rack your fucking weights, you sons of bitches. Do not leave your weights right there. And also, if you're going to go to the gym, do not have like 4 or 5, 6 of you gather over one little area and then all you're doing is talking and listening to music. If you're going to use the machine, use it.
Right. Exactly.
That pisses me the fuck off.
One thing that gets me that I've seen more times than it is necessary, when people use a public restroom and they don't flush.
Yeah. Or better yet, when they use a public restroom and they pee all over the seat.
That
and wipe
too.
it off afterwards.
That too. It's like, why? How?
My grandmother,
I don't understand.
my grandmother, God rest her soul, used to do that all the time. And I never thought to ask her, why do you do that, Grandma? I never thought to ask her that. But then I think I remember her saying something about she didn't want to touch the seat. I'm like, but you're squatting.
Right.
And, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, another big pet peeve I have. We saw this on Saturday when we were at GameStop. Do not come in a store complaining about stuff in front of your kid. I mean, there's actually a time and
Actually,
a place.
the one thing that drives me nuts is when people make a fucking fuss over things that the people working there have no control over.
Right. It's not the people working there's fault that something costs $7. It's not their fault.
It's not their fault the fact the warranty expired 5 years ago and you still have it and you're still hoping that it still exists. I mean,
Right.
People are my pet peeve.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just, no, don't get me wrong. There's some good people out there. There are, but it's
Oh yeah.
the ones that bitch and complain. I'm just like, don't you have anything else better to do with your life than to complain about everything else that's going on in the world? I mean, we have enough crap going on as it is. We don't need any more.
Right. One thing that gets me when I'm in a hurry and I have to run into the gas station. Now, mind you, I don't care. Buy lottery tickets all day long. I don't care, but fill out the damn slip so you can stick the slip in the machine instead of standing there clogging up the line, giving them 83 numbers to play.
Yeah.
That drives me so nuts. Like, I will literally be in line, and somebody in front of me, oh, I want to get a number. And then they'll rattle off like 7 different series of numbers. And meanwhile, there's a line accumulating. And
They're completely unaware. They don't even care because all they want is their damn lottery tickets.
right.
Lottery tickets is a pain in the ass too. Yes, you're absolutely
Yes. It's like just go in there, just be if you're gonna do that, be awesome and fill out a card, fill out the little bubbles and have them put it through the machine. That way you know your numbers are right, you know your plays are right, and you're not holding up a line when people just want to pay for gas. Or I know there was one time when I lived in a town near Rockford, just right outside of Rockford, and they had a little gas station over by the house. And one time I was just so mad, I just pumped went in to just basically pay for gas. And I was in a hurry to get to work. I had to take the kid to school. I had to go to work and I was just rush, rush, rush. And of course you got one of those lottery people and I had like $7 cash on me. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, this on this pump. I got to go.
Truly, what drives me more crazy about that is when they decide they're going to buy those little scratch off tickets and then start scratching them off at the
right there. Right.
So now now I've been standing here for 10, 15 minutes already as it is, and now you're going to scratch off these fuckers?
Uh-huh.
Fine.
It's like take them to your car and scratch them off there.
I also look at it too, like the cashier could be like, do you mind stepping aside so that I can get the next person in line and keep this line moving?
Right.
They don't always do that. But I do feel bad for them because the lottery can be a pain in the ass to deal with.
Right. And I'm sorry, people that work in retail do not get paid nearly enough.
No.
Do not get paid nearly enough. And that's one thing how I've raised my kid, like always be kind to anybody, when people are mean to waitresses and bartenders and staff, like customer service staff, retail staff, when people are mean to those people, that pisses me off. It's like, I want to stick, especially when they're, just rude like that. I'm like, okay, I want to stick you on the patio, waiting tables on the first day of spring and make sure you're in the weeds. And I want you to see how it really is to actually have to get out there and see how it is. Or I want you to work at Target on Black Friday. And I want you to see how it really is. So maybe you'll understand when you're actually shopping or dining out or whatever, you'll know what goes on behind the scenes. So you're a little bit kinder to people, a little bit more patient.
At our job, there's a time when I hate people who come in and they have those fucking, they have their own grocery bags, and then they're very anal about what goes in those bags.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you help them out to their car, they're anal about how you put it in their car.
Yeah. And
I'm just like, here, just dump all this shit in your car. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Pretty much.
Just now I know a pet peeve happened to Mel when she was working one time at this mall around here. People who come in about 2 minutes before closing.
Yes.
That's pretty much going into a retail store going.
Mm-hmm.
All the workers.
And 9 times out of 10, and I'm not trying to be profiling with what I'm about to say, but there is a certain demographic that does it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who, but there's a certain demographic that does it more often than others.
Right.
And they know exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they will come into a store 5 minutes before it's about to close, instead of just looking at the front of the store to see what the hours of operation are. And they will come in and they will start fucking up everything that's in the store. And then they'll leave.
Yeah. That's just rude.
Of course. Yeah, it is. It is rude. And that's one of the reasons why I hate retail.
Mm-hmm. And I think anybody working in retail, because you're working for the most part, you're working for these huge corporations. Yep. And, need to be paid a little bit more.
Yes.
Need to be paid more. Because, it's so.
We don't get paid enough for the shit that we have to deal with these people.
No.
At all.
It's like I think that's why I'm looking forward to this new job that I've got, because I won't be in an office. I won't be in a store. I won't be behind a bar. I will be working and worried about going to work and doing my job, and that's it.
Yeah.
So what are some of your pet peeves, huh?
Well, I've already mentioned some of them.
Oh, yeah.
I've already mentioned most of them, so I just.
Oh, another thing too. She's very she's like whenever we rent a Redbox, she will literally.
Well, I'm
look.
anal about DVDs. I'm anal about CDs. Period. I have a. It's not. That's not a pet peeve. It's an OCD thing.
Yeah.
It's just OCD. I have an OCD about certain things. That's all it is.
I do have a
It's not
pet peeve with
though.
some servers at a restaurant.
If you blatantly see them standing around not doing anything, then it's kind of like. But then again, those ones, they probably pissed off everybody in the restaurant that they work with anyway.
Well,
Exactly. Yep. Right.
there was one in particular who we were at an Olive Garden, and she was working on a party. We didn't know that she was working on a big old party, but she kept telling Mel asked for wine.
I
And she-
had ordered a glass of wine.
Yeah.
To go with my meal, and I eventually got it closer to the time that we were about to leave.
Aw.
But apparently, our server didn't really understand the concept of going to the bar, ordering the drink, waiting for it to be ready, and then coming back and informing us of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it says she would disappear for 5-10 minutes at a time, come back and be like, actually, she wouldn't come back. I think we saw her a total of 3, maybe twice in the 45 minutes to an hour that we spent there.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to get the management involved and letting them know what was going on. And they ended up giving me a much larger size glass of wine and everything like that for, the cheaper value, which was nice. So
Nice.
I wasn't going to complain about that.
We've had 2 experiences at that place. One time we were talking about something.
We were talking about something political, and one of the servers overheard us and decided to be an asshole.
Oh, that's not okay.
No, not okay at all.
No.
But then again, though, bartending and serving is a part of customer service too, and
It is.
people who don't understand customer service needs to actually work customer service for a little bit to understand. How the
Anybody
rest of
who,
us do.
I would say this: anybody who's never worked a day in their life in retail,
Do it.
work it one dime. Just work it. Just work it for 1 week, and you'll see
Mhm.
exactly the shit that we have to go through.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we had this extreme couponer who's come back now, and she gets free shit, sells the food herself, and pretty much makes a dime by going to Florida on trips. And she's on
She's on welfare.
and she's on welfare. And
Wow.
she gets these coupons that are like out of date, these rain checks that are out of date. And she pretty much what would be a $250 order may only be like $6 to her.
And then she'll go and complain that she had to pay $6 for something.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are people out there like that. Extreme couponers suck.
Yeah, that.
They are literally the biggest scammers in the retail world, in my opinion.
Mm-mm.
They're the ones that will switch the tags, for a cheaper price and all that kind of crap.
Oh my gosh. Well, it gets me.
That's for another podcast.
Right. Extreme couponer. Well, it gets me. Do you guys have like the gaming machines that are legal down there? Like you stick, they're kind of like pull tabs, but it's like a real life, like casino game, kind of.
No.
And they come in there and they just stick money in and they can win big jackpots.
No.
People. Okay. Whenever we have these little slot machines everywhere, and there's little slot parlors everywhere. And when you're actually working, these people, they'll dump in like all their money just to try to win it back. And even if they don't dump in all their money, they'll sit there and they'll hit like $1,000 or hit like 500, and they don't leave a tip at all. It's like, you can at least give me $1.
No, I don't get it with people. I really don't.
Like you just got 300 of them. You could give me one single dollar.
Right.
Now, another problem too is you got like people don't seem to understand. Now, I remember when I used to work at the haunted attractions back in the day. You would have these guys come in there. They would come in there high and drunk, and they would think it's a horror film. They're like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna see Michael Myers. I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna fuck him
Like
up."
I'd like to see you really fuck up a character that doesn't technically exist.
Right.
Oh yeah. Let's see what Juggalo Gamer said here. He said,
So they're the kind of people that put $50 in the machine and only get $15 back, and they think they're ahead of the game.
Yes.
"Yeah, yep,
Pretty much, yeah. Whereas you'd be ahead of the game if you stuck $1 in and got $15. Then you'd be ahead of the game. And those people would be more likely to tip too.
Now, I'll be honest with you. If you go to one of those like slot machines and you're putting in like a nickel, and then you won $500, there you go. Then you can brag.
That's something to brag about.
Absolutely.
Then you can brag about.
One time this lady cussed me out because she stuck like $700 into one of the machines, and it was my fault that she lost all of her money, and the machine was broken, and I needed to call somebody right then and there, and I'm just like,
that's when I would.
It's called gambling.
Like, see, this is the thing that people don't understand. If you've never worked in retail, you've never worked behind that counter, you've never dealt with customers or whatever, you really don't want to know what the fuck we think in our heads.
Right.
If we could get away with murder for one day,
if it's a
just one day,
wipe out the whole fucking country.
Yep.
If it was a purge, I guarantee you that Karen.
Oh, Karen better run.
Oh yeah,
there are a lot of them.
Oh gosh.
If like I said, I'm not trying to encourage it or anything, but I'm saying if we could just for one day, I'm gonna go. You know what? Forget one day. I'm gonna go 12 hours.
12 hours.
12 hours.
12 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, not one day, but 12 hours.
Yep.
If we could get away with doing whatever we wanted to do, saying whatever we wanted to say.
Yep.
For 12 hours.
I think people would act a lot.
It would be amazing.
Right. I bet that would definitely change the way people treated people at the stores and in retail and in any service industry.
Yep. Because people really don't want to know what we actually really think. Because there have been times when I will actually verbally say things to customers that I talk to or whatnot about a person that previously that came after them or whatnot, and like they'll make some snooty comment towards me and whatever have you, and when they leave, I'll just tell the person that's next to them, I'm like, man, I am so glad they're gone because they were giving me trouble, and if looks could have killed, they would be dead right now.
Right.
So what I did to this old lady one time is that she swears up and down, and I'm the one that bagged her last bag and messed it up, which I never saw the lady in a day in my life, but apparently me.
You're still going on about that one? Wow.
No. What I found funny about that situation is she's like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said anything after I said, okay, well, bag your own stuff. I pretty much said, like, no, you got it.
Yep, here you go. You know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I got faith in you.
Yeah.
Again, this is the reason why I hate people. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good people out there too, but majority of them, I've come across a lot of people who just hate their lives. It's like they wake up with hate.
Yeah.
Then why did you leave your house if you're in such a bad mood?
Right.
Turn around and go back out. Come back when you're ready to come. To be nice.
Exactly.
I don't get paid enough shit to deal with your crap, okay?
Right. And I feel bad for fast food workers. Like, they, especially the ones that are open 24 hours and you get all the assholes in the middle of the night.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that are especially drunk or some shit.
Oh, gosh. Like, there's no way. I mean, it's bad. I've dealt with more than my fair share of drunks being behind the bar or, serving or whatever. But it's just that there's a level that I could not deal with. And that's like dealing with them after the fact when they're all sloshed and they leave to go get food or whatever. It's just, no. Go home, please.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like if you go to a Waffle House, you'll find a bunch of drunks there at the end.
I have never been to a Waffle House. Is it anything like a Denny's?
No.
I've heard so many stories about Waffle House.
Denny's to me is actually cleaner.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard so many stories about Waffle House. I'm like, man, I almost like to be a fly on the wall, and I would be like a really good tipper and really nice.
Yeah.
But because I'm sure they probably, but they throw chairs back, for what I understand.
Some of those Waffle House ladies that work there, they don't take shit.
No, and they can't. Yeah.
And they will actually fight back and they will throw stuff back at people.
See, I've never seen that happen before. No, at
I'm-
least not at the Waffle Houses that
yeah,
we've been to.
yeah, we haven't seen them when we've been to, but I have heard that they do that.
I mean, I've heard stories, but that's about it. As far as
Right. I've heard stories, and I saw a video, somebody throwing a chair across the room. I'm like, whoa.
Like I said, the things that we wish we could get away with.
Right. Just one day. Just one day.
Just 12 hours. That's all I ask. Just give me 12
Right.
hours to do what I want, please, and say what I want to say.
Right. Right.
But I will say this about fast food people: if I tell you my order, I know some people are like, well, sometimes they get it wrong. You have to be on, I'm like, nah, no. If I pretty much tell you I want a cheeseburger that's plain with this cheese, and then you end up giving me like a fish fillet, then that's a problem. That's kind of like, really, come on now, pay attention. But I do realize that there's a lot of assholes they deal with.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All the time.
Then there's those people who will come back after getting their food. They'll come back in the line and they'll come back in the line and be like, "You didn't get my order right." I've seen the videos. They get fucking nasty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's this world coming to when you see people going on people's porches and stealing pink flamingos? And I'm like, what are you going to do with a pink flamingo? You going to sell that for drugs? I mean, like, who the hell's going to buy
They might.
I'm like, who the hell's going to buy a pink flamingo?
You'd be surprised at things that people will do with anything they try and steal. Or they can steal. And it's just the way of the world now. Honestly.
Now the problem here in Nashville is that some of these people who are gun owners are stupid because they leave their guns in their cars, and there's why these young people are breaking in cars and stealing guns.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't leave it in your car, you ningapoop.
No.
Don't be a jabroni. No. Don't leave it. Don't leave your gun in a car.
No. No.
I mean, there are parts of Nashville where if you're a tourist, don't go certain areas.
No, that's
Right.
That's any major town.
As any
though.
major
That's any
town,
major
really,
city,
but just. I know you and Raiden don't live in a very good neighborhood.
No. My neighbors fought from somebody was beating on their door all overnight Friday night. Like, and we're talking not just beat on the door, but like it sounded like they were kicking it. And he was in there. They were arguing most of the morning, Saturday morning. I'm like, you people have kept me awake. That's another pet peeve of mine. Shitty neighbors. The shitty neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
have
like,
next door.
oh,
Yeah.
Well, we
Like
haven't heard those shitty neighbors in a while, so.
oh my goodness. I mean, on one side of me, they're really nice couple. They're nice. They don't bother anybody. They say hi. These motherfuckers on the other side of my wall. Jesus. Nothing but insanity out of those people. The guy's kid is the one that actually broke into my apartment over the summer. His kid and another neighbor kid, 2 doors down. At least we got our stuff back, but the Raiden, they took his Xbox, they took his DS, or no, not his DS, his Switch. I'm sorry. And they actually found it because they went to the pawn shop. They went and tried to sell it to a pawn shop. And they have to, in the state of Illinois, they have to report all the stuff that they got throughout the day, to see if it gets come back flagged as stolen. And of course, we keep everything, like receipts, boxes, everything. Yeah. So they found, those 2 items, but there was other stuff that they took. They took my vacuum. Who the hell steals a vacuum?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. It's like, oh, but yeah, this neighborhood, I mean, it used to be okay, but you have a bunch of chuckle sticks move in and they fight all the time. And But I know somebody's moving out. I saw somebody pull up in a U-Haul earlier, and I'm like, I wonder who's moving. I wonder who.
Right.
And you're like, get me the fuck out of here.
Right. Right. I know my lease is up in September, and by then, time to get into a different place because I'm not signing back up for this shit. I know there was the police actually raided one of the apartments like a couple weeks ago.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yep.
And,
It's ridiculous.
yeah, it's kind of like when our first year of marriage, when we left our apartment, like 2 weeks after we left our apartment, there was a meth bus.
Yep.
Damn.
So I was kind of like, choke on that, you little fuckers.
Right. No shit.
Because they were going to make us leave just because we had a friend who had a warrant. We didn't know for sure he had a warrant. But he was staying with us for a little bit, and the cops came and got him. And they're like, well, you guys are not allowed to be here. I was like, but guess what?
We're already leaving anyway.
We're already leaving anyway.
Right.
And you just had a meth bus, so congratulations.
Exactly. Like, what the hell?
And it's gotten really to the point now where people are like especially here, people are just stealing stuff to sell drugs and get drugs. And that's a big pet peeve of mine too, is when I see people with like food stamp cards and then they have like wads of cash.
Yeah. That irritates me too. I remember one time my job literally shut its doors without any warning, without nothing. And I had to sign up for unemployment, which I was granted the unemployment, no big deal. And I'm like, well, and Raiden was younger at the time. I'm like, well, maybe, while I'm waiting on the unemployment to start coming through, maybe I can apply for LINK, which is food stamps in Illinois. And they approved me for $15 a month.
What?
$15 a month.
Oh my God, that is ridiculous.
Right. And I'm
That
like,
is disgusting.
right. I'm like, okay, I just lost my job without warning. I have a child. I'm going to be out without an income for about a month while unemployment kicks in, and I'm eligible for $15 a month.
Wow.
I'm like, I don't understand. And then you got people selling their stamps. It's like, do you know how, like, geez, food is important. Food is awesome. If I had free money for food every month, shit.
Yeah.
But no, I qualified for $15. There you go.
That's sad.
Yeah, ain't it though? And I told him, I'm like, you guys can just keep it. I don't. No, I'll be all right. Give it to.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's just not right.
Nope. And I didn't qualify for medical. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I can't even get medical coverage. I was able to get Raiden coverage. No, so that's good because at the time there was like this Illinois Kid Care thing, but now I don't know if they still have it or not. I haven't had to deal with it in forever, but
they have this thing in Tennessee called TennCare, and it's usually for people who are below the poverty line, and they won't even let me and Mel have,
because we're not pregnant.
And
right.
Yeah.
So we have to be pregnant or something to that effect, and I'm like, okay, well.
It's like, thanks a lot there, guys.
Right.
And then there's I've seen people with their food stamp cards and they've had like $700-800 on it. And I'm like, but yet they have a wad of cash and they have debit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you able to have this?
Right.
I know people are gonna be like, don't be prejudiced, Kev, okay? No, it's not about that. It's just the fact that there's some people that deserve. I mean, it should be a fair thing, and people are cheating the system.
Oh yeah. And then the people that really need the help can't get it because, yeah, people take advantage and they, yeah.
Yeah.
Telephone not too bad.
So is there any other topics you want to bring up, Becky?
Maybe next time. I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we're kind of in that boat too. But definitely let me know, guys, in the comments below what you guys think of some of the things. And a lot of people seem to be excited about Michael Keaton back as Batman. And if you're one of those people who's never worked retail, just know one thing: try it for a week. Try customer service for a week, whether it's restaurants or retail.
Yeah.
And then
I would say Black Friday would be a good day for them to try.
Oh yeah.
and then
Oh,
come
yeah.
and then come back and tell us how you felt,
Exactly.
because that's just ridiculous. Anyways, maybe next time we'll get Mr. Raiden on here.
Maybe.
You know, and
Yeah, I'm not sure where Josie went. I think she probably had to tend to her littles.
that's okay. She's always welcome.
Awesome.
But anyways, anything you want to add, Mel?
No, I'm
Good.
good.
You're good?
I think it was a fun show.
Absolutely. I had fun.
Yeah. A lot of topics that we discussed. So
And by the
Good.
way, and if you're one of those girls who are a TikToker that does like these little gym videos, stop it. Get some help. Seriously. Get some help.
it ain't gonna stop. It's trendy, so it's not gonna stop anytime soon.
But anyways, though, we are going to be going. See you guys another day.
Bye.
And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
Welcome.